Hey guys, Matt here. Just wanted to introduce you guys to the world of digital music. I'm pretty new to it myself actually, so I'm still learning, but there's actually a lot of free software out there available. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars on professional music suites or anything like that. You can, with a little bit of research, you can find something like this. This is Oscillostation 2.08. It'll have more features than you may know how to do with, and in fact that's kind of almost a bad thing because it's no longer being produced, this program, so there's not much support available for it, but there's a pretty hefty manual that comes with it in the help section. Anyway, this is the main screen here. As you can see, we're currently on the sequencer. Right here you have all your tracks. There's currently none right now, but you can have all your instruments, and your clips will be displayed here, and you can move them around and edit them and stuff like that. This is like your timeline, basically is how you organize the tracks. So there's nothing here, so in order to put something there you have to go to the synth tab. Now the synth tab, you can see there's nothing here either except for this master thing. That's your main volume and main EQ and all these effects and stuff. So you want to add an instrument. So what you do is you double click, and there's tons of instruments. I mean, you have Audio Blaster, which basically you can, use that to make to put in actual MP3s that you have. You can import MP3s into it and adjust the effects and stuff. But there's tons of synthesizers, and there's tons of stuff you can do with each one. There's also a bunch of effects you can put in here, and you can tie them into your instruments. So for now I'm going to pick Fuzz Synth and press OK. Now here it is. As you can see, it's going to end up making like a web. Each one's going to connect to the master input section. Now right now if I double click, you can press keys on your keyboard. If you're like me and you don't have an actual MIDI keyboard, you can just kind of hear the sound by pressing like letter keys on your keyboard. So let's see. Let's start with Donald Duck. This is a pretty cool sound. I've used this in one of my songs, I think. So you basically have that. Now, if something gets messed up on your screen or whatever, and you get all this noise and something happens and it gets locked up and your little sound goes up in the red thing, you can press the reset button and it'll just shut off all the sound because normally when you play something and you press stop, all the effects will carry on. So if it's like for example, if I were to do this, as soon as I let go, you can still hear the trailing effects. So if something got messed up and you want to stop, you just press the reset button. So there, it stopped. It's a useful fact, and you get into a lot of tracks, and sometimes they just don't go well together, and something bad happens. So that's that. You got a crap load of effects here. I didn't even know what half of them do. You have a sequencer. So like if you wanted a sequence like yeah, basically that's what that is. Anyway, you could mess around with that all you want. Really, that's how you learn. You learn what effects you want. Main one you want to use probably is cutoff to adjust the the cutoff frequency. So like you can't even hear it. Yeah, stuff like that. That's basically that. So then when you go back to the sequencer, you'll notice you'll have the fuzz synth thing, and we'll just call it fuzz. So you have that track here. Now say you want to actually make some music, like you might want to do. you make sure you go back to the beginning, and you right click and you click new clip, and you'll notice this is the time measure. These go in beats, or this is one measure, so you want to start in the first measure, and this is each beat in the measure, and this is even more tuning if you want to, excuse me. So you press OK. So you have this clip here. You can do whatever you want with it, but you want to put music in it. So you right click, you go to edit, and you'll notice here's your clip. So you got a little rolling keyboard over here. So if you want to make just some music or something, you click, you make sure you're in the right mode. This is delete mode, so if you want to delete it, you click on it. These are other things that I don't really use, so really these are the two modes you want to be in. Right mode, you can write music, so if you play, basically that's it. Now if you want to adjust the length of the note, you go to the right side of the note and you drag it that way. If you go to the left side of the note, if you go to the left side of the note, it moves it. So right side changes the length, left side moves it. And then if you go in the middle, you can change the pitch. So if I wanted to do that, I could just adjust the length of the note, and we'll look at that. And then you go back to the beginning. And so that's that. That's basic notes. You can obviously do chords too. So I don't even know the chords. I'm just kind of messing around here. But so I could do this, which doesn't sound very good, so you can do the good old Control-Z undo as many times as you'd like until you're happy. Now what I can do is, now say I want this to repeat, I will delete this last part here, and I want this section to repeat right here. So what I'll do is I hold down the Control key, and right now you can see all of this is selected because it's all white. You go to the Control key and you click on, so you want to move all of these notes, or you want to copy all these notes, so you hold down Control and then you can move all these notes here, and look, you have a copy. Now you can see these are crossed out, they don't have selection, so I can hold down the Shift key. The Shift key moves a group of notes, and the Control key copies a group of notes, so you don't want to get those confused, because I've done that plenty of times and it messes you up. And sometimes when you accidentally click here and it's selected again, then you can't move this particular part without affecting all that too. So I want to copy this again, then I'll do that again, but say I don't want to do that. Oh look, none of it's selected, but if I click here, now all of it's selected. So now if I wanted to move the whole thing, I'd hold down Shift and I can move it. If I want to copy all of that, I can Control and move it. Whoops. See, that happens too. Now this, you can see this black part, this is your selection. It's also indicated by this here. This is the beginning and that's the end. So if I want to make it shorter like that, now if I want to move just this part, you know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it's kind of takes some getting used to, because normally you're used to, well, I want to just drag it. Oh, can't do that. So you have to actually, you can also select it up here by dragging the selection that you want, and you can always edit it like that.